Much appreciate y'all American people. Imagine y'all healthy. So today, it's gonna be a hopefully short continuation from yesterday, right? Um, it's a lot of confusion out here, and I'm just intolerant of confusion that is, you know, perpetuated, propagated, and specifically targeted towards our American people, right? So the title of this continuing problem, reaction, solution. So we're going to be discussing some of these things that are problematic, um, the reactions of people to these problems. It varies, of course, but then we're going to get into the solutions. All right. So we're going to rock these intros. We're going to continue. Appreciate your presence.
Abanki Palami, Igby, Atak, Intikba, Atak Shanspo, Maliki Okla, Okcha, Abahanta, Chatayakni, Anli, Yukpali, Ishkifa Nishkin, Oglush Enla, Abinili, Chata Atak Ishkafushi. Almighty Creator, ancestors, our American people, awake. This is divine sacred Chata land. Be faithful, be exalted. Foreign nations, colonists. You are in the eye of the tomahawk.
Tomahawk! How we gonna do it? The hard way! How we gonna do it? The hard way! How we gonna do it? The hard way!
But you're not black. Remember, we only kill black people. Yeah, we only kill black people, right?
Tomahawk! How we gonna do it? The hard way! How we gonna do it? The hard way! How we gonna do it? The hard way!
We the people have been poisoned. Have you or anyone you know experienced hair loss, balding, bleeding issues, cancers, diabetes, and related health problems? These conditions and many others are the result of rat poisoning. In the early 1900s, eugenicists created a rat poison chemical which has intentionally been placed into personal care cosmetic product formulas, especially products labeled as natural. This chemical was designed to destroy your body on a cellular level through your blood. Common and popular brands contain this toxic rat poison chemical formula. Since at least the 1950s, millions of people have been suffering due to the damage caused by this chemical. Within each generation, the harm increases as this chemical crosses the placenta, compromising the natural development of babies. This book reveals not only the origins of this chemical, the harm to natural and reproductive health, but also the people responsible and the billions of dollars they profit each year. Visit stopthegenocide.us for more information.
All right. So let's go and get into it, right? I'm gonna begin with this. Okay. Now this is a problem. A lot of people aren't talking about this being a problem. So as you see, we're on the Oklahoma Historical Society's website, okhistory.org, right? And so I'm showing you here this guy, Albert Pike, right? 1809 to 1891, all right? Now, go to zoom in. Matter of fact, let me open up this image in a new tab so we can really observe how he was decorated, all right? Costume, if you will. Okay. It says born in Boston, Massachusetts in 1809, served as a Confederate Indian commissioner and military commander of Indian Territory during the Civil War. All right. Lacking the funds to attend Harvard, Pike taught school to save money to travel in the West. Okay. He accompanied a trading party from Missouri to Santa Fe. All right. Now, this is where it gets good. Pike returned to Little Rock, Arkansas, we're speaking in regards to, right? As the Civil War approached, he decided to serve the Confederacy, appointed Confederate Commissioner of Indian Affairs, similar to the BIA, right? In March 1861, Pike negotiated treaties of alliance between the Confederate government and the Creek, the Choctaw and the Chickasaw, the Seminole, the Osage, and the Seneca and Shawnee. All right. After much negotiating, Cherokee Chief John Rawls signed the treaty on October 7, 1861. 7 days later, Pike was appointed Brigadier General of the Provisional Army of the Department of Indian Territory, with his headquarters at Fort Davis in the Cherokee Nation. Okay. Now, let's go and get some more information about this guy. And before we do that, let's really look at this image of this guy, right? So this is the image they have of him on the Oklahoma Historical Society's website, right? So we see all of this symbology here, all foreign, all Masonic, okay? See him? Let's continue now. I got another link for you all, right? Let me go to put these in the chat for you as well, because these are great reference points, okay? We have to kill confusion out here. You know, we have to really know what's going on. We have these foreign Masons or what have you, and they have been playing games. They have been performing as operatives by default against our American peoples, right? So on this particular link, it's showing how Albert Pike, he's a founding member of the Ku Klux Klan. Also 33rd degree Mason, all of that, right? On the same website, a lot of information is being shown, right? So here's a reference from Flake's Bulletin, right? This is early quote-unquote American newspaper series that I'm about to read from, that's what you see on the screen right now. We announced a few days since that Albert Pike had withdrawn from the Memphis Avalanche because he would not cheat the Negro. We now publish a part of his farewell card. We shall not speak upon a stand or platform where a Negro sits swelling in the bloom of his majestic self-importance, expecting his speech to be reported in the Avalanche and be declared an orator superior to many of another color. When a Negro speaker is sandwiched between two quote-unquote white ones to teach white men and white women political truths, it will not be the entertainment to which we have been invited. So basically, what we're seeing here is Albert Pike, he was against Negroes. This is a whole 33rd degree Mason here, who's also a part of treaty negotiations. He was an attorney for numerous American nations, our American nations. So when I presented this information previously, I asked, was our American people during this 1800s period, were they aware of who they were hiring as a quote-unquote lawyer? E-Rock Elevations, how you doing today? Appreciate your presence. Were they aware, were our ancestors aware of this guy's activity and background? Okay. I'm just going to take it from the top of this document here, right? So it says here, Confederate Commissioner, Masonic Demiurge, apologist for slavery, apostate of the Union. Okay. So he's Confederate Commissioner, a Masonic Demiurge, an apologist for slavery, an apostate of the Union. All right. Long story short, this guy Albert Pike here obviously had multiple motives. He was a whole operative. I don't care who want to praise this dude. I'm not about to praise him. All right. We see right here. Let me zoom in. Or he was a charismatic, multidimensional man, an explorer, writer, linguist, Freemason, jurist, and Confederate general who exercised an outsized influence on the development of the United States. Among his numerous abilities and accomplishments are the following. He explored the Texas Panhandle area. So mind you, this dude is he's a whole Mason. He's a whole Ku Klux Klan founder. All right. This dude got experience with law. It says right here, developed facility in many languages and dialects, including Greek, Latin, French, Sanskrit. No, Sanskrit is that Hindu shit. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, that's right, E-Rock. Yeah. Obviously a conflict of interest. Empress Freedom Feather, appreciate your presence as well, right? So this dude, in addition to Sanskrit and Hebrew and quote unquote Native American languages, so obviously based on what we know when we take time to study language, study history, culture, customs, etc., right? We will see that our American languages are distinct from all those foreign languages. It should be obvious to us, right? But of course, it's a problem when we have eugenicists and various breeds of foreigners that have invested in sabotaging our minds via their education system. Their education system is not our education system. That's one. Two, with all of these references, all these foreign things in which they study and all of that, they have imposed their beliefs, their languages onto our American people, simultaneously denationalizing us via the American ethnocide, as I've described in past presentations, right? So continuing, he wrote for, published, edited, and owned a number of newspapers, including the Argus Advocate, the Memphis Appeal, the Memphis Avalanche, and the Daily Patriot, okay? Recruited a company of cavalry and led it as captain in the Mexican-American War. This dude was a soldier. I'm showing y'all previously how this guy, he was a brigadier general during this period, right? When you look at the term brigandry and how that relates to brigadier, right? He was a brigadier general, meaning that via brigandry, he had slave soldiers. Those slave soldiers for participating in wars, all right, whether it was against our American nations or against whatever breeds of foreign nations, because you know you had the French Indian War, you had the Spanish Indian War, then you had wars between the British and the Spanish, as well as the French, so on and so forth, right? And so we're talking about the 1800s period where you still had wars that were very active. And this guy here was, not only was he a slave owner, all right, and he had a tremendous dislike for Negroes. Continuing, he had slave soldiers. Now, what would his slave soldiers look like? 9 times out of 10, them soldiers, I'm sure he had some Morisco Moranos in there, you know, quote unquote, melanated people, right? But he definitely had some pale skins in there. Absolutely, he did. Especially as a Freemason, right? A lot of information's here. So continuing, it says, served as the first court reporter for the Arkansas Supreme Court, appointed associate justice on that court in 1864. This dude had all types of rank. He was a public official. Yeah, legend. How you doing? Appreciate your presence. Prosecuted land claims and reparations for the Creek, Choctaw, and Chickasaw Indians before the U.S. Supreme Court negotiated settlements with the federal government. Damn, ain't this interesting? Isn't this interesting? Continuing. Negotiated non-treaties with various Indian tribes as commissioner to Indian Territory on behalf of the Confederate States of America. Led 2 regiments of Indians into battle as brigadier general with Confederate forces. He led 2 regiments of Indians into battle as a brigadier general. So he had our American Indian peoples, right? Those that he was able to work with, and for real, we don't even know what type of quote unquote Indians these was, because once again, we have this situation with this Native American political party during this period, right? Once again, he's a Mason, and so that ties directly into that circus shit. It ties directly into the circus shit. Yo, they've been impersonating our American people. Yo, it's filthy. And all these things are problems. What has happened against our people then going into what's happening against our people now, right? Continuing here, awarded 33rd degree as a Mason, appointed sovereign Grand Commander of the Scottish Rite for the Southern jurisdiction. Okay, single-handedly restructured the rituals of the Scottish Rite Freemasonry and published the definitive guide to Masonic practice that is used to this day. Okay, authored dozens of books, translations, pamphlets, and commentaries. Awarded an honorary AM degree from Harvard College in 1859. It says here that he declined that degree. I guess because, you know, he was rejected from Harvard at a young age. And so now he's like, nah, I don't want your degree. I got the 33rd degree. I'm bigger than y'all. right? And highly regarded as a poet and widely published both in America and in Europe. All right, so that's another picture of him you see right there. It says, but there was also his embrace of slavery, of quote unquote white supremacy, of Southern secession, despite his heritage as a Northerner. A statue of Pike overthrown during quote unquote Black Lives Matter protests in 2020 was placed near Judiciary Square in Washington, D.C. in 1901. So in 1901, he was honored in Washington, D.C., and that's not too far from what they want to fake call Alexandria, Virginia, because once again, that land has nothing to do with any of these Masonic references to what they, what I want to call it, that circus shit, long story short, right? None of these Masonic names have anything to do with this American continent. We have our own names over here. We have our own identity over here. And once again, via these Masons, as I'm showing y'all, these Masons, their members are responsible for the name changes. This is ethnocide that's taking place, all right? They're responsible for this. While they're invested in warfare, politics, corruption of politics, so on and so forth. They have their own interests. Our interests are not in their minds. They all have agendas against us, all right? And this is all historical, as I'm showing you, right? Pardon me, it's hot as hell down here. Got this ice water. And this shit is fantastic in this hot sun. I'm enjoying it, though. But, Chad, what do y'all think about this information so far? Some of y'all might be familiar with Albert Pike, others may not be, but I put it like this, though. Our youth need to be aware, because does Albert Pike have descendants? Or is his descendants furthering the work of their predecessor? All right? Because once again, our youth must be informed so that they can further the work of their ancestors, our ancestors collectively, right here within this American continent. All right? We have our own duties to secure our own interests. And like E-Rock said a moment ago, obviously a conflict of interest when we have people promoting quote unquote white supremacy and they don't even know that they're promoting quote unquote white supremacy. This is another form of slavery where we have people that are co-signing ignorance, co-signing Masonic mythologies via their theologies and foreign ideologies and indoctrination schemes. All right. I showed y'all how to do what's his name? Prince Hall, the founder of the Prince Hall African Lodge, right? He forged his Scottish Rite charter. He was rejected to be in the Scottish Rite Freemasons, or Masons, if you will. He was rejected because he's a Morisco. He's a Negropean exile, born a slave. And so he forged his charter, and then now he comes up with his Prince Hall African Lodge, which has corrupted the minds of countless people. Once again, it's called the African Lodge, not the Prince Hall American Lodge. Obviously not, because Duke's not American. He's not American, right? Continuing here, in 1871, he wrote an influential work, Morals and Dogma, for the Scottish Rite Freemasons. Now, I'll encourage you all, look up that text there, Morals and Dogma, Albert Pike's Morals and Dogma. So you can be aware of the mind, the intelligence of these foreigners. That's what it's about, being aware of how their mind operates, okay? Because we're talking about numerous people that have gained influence here in North America alone, right? And they all work together. They all know each other, familiar with each other. They do business together, etc., and all at the expense of our American people, right? Let's go and fast forward in this document. Yes, he was setting up private schools. You see, private school. In the course of a month, I wish to open a private school in this town, if a sufficient number of scholars be obtained before the time to warrant the undertaking. For instruction in the studies commonly taught in high schools and academies, the price of tuition will be $5 per term. During my absence from town, application may be made to Mr. Ebenezer Stedman. This is Albert Pike, 1829. This is a problem, right? But we have foreigners making more schools, right? He got rejected from Harvard. He couldn't afford it. Fast forward in 1829 now, this dude decided to make his own private school and raising funds. $5 was a lot of money back then, apparently, right? Anyway. What was they teaching in these schools? Moral pre the pre morals and dogma, the pre KKK. You know what I'm saying? These are problems, right? Now, in regards to problems, how do you react to a problem once you become aware of a problem? All right, how do you react? Well, I say you study that problem. Take the time to study, do reconnaissance, scout out that problem, identify, like with genealogy, people, places, names, dates, etc., location, all of that. You identify every element of that problem because these problems are designed to create threats. And these threats ought to be executed as we have seen throughout the course of history. All right. Yo, we are literally nearly 5.5 years short of 200 years since 1829. It's about to be 2029 very soon. So in regards to a solution, right? Let me tell you, we have the option to file protests. You don't do a protest like going outside making noise and, you know, saying fuck the police, no justice, no peace, all that circus shit. No. You're supposed to file a protest. I done shared this before. We can have another conversation about that, right? But once again, a protest can be filed against someone setting up a school. In addition to that protest being filed, you can also file a tort claim, okay? The tort claim being emotional distress. Yo, emotional distress being supported by the fact these foreigners have a history of not only encroaching on our natural rights, disrupting our natural rights, okay? But also they are invested in the destruction. They are invested in the creation, the propagation of negativity, wickedness, mental illness. Ethnocide is a mental illness. When we have people teaching so-called history, but meanwhile it's revisionist history flooded with ethnocide, right? It's emotional distress when your natural identity is being blackened out of existence. Because that's what's been happening. Our natural American identities are literally being blackened out. This dude hated Negroes, but yet and still, it says in the Choctaw Treaty of 1866, in which he was an attorney for, right? And once again, we're talking about Albert Pike here, right? This soldier, he was an attorney for the Choctaw, Chickasaw, Seminoles, etc., right? During this mid 1800s, 1860s treaty signing period, right? Negotiations of those treaties, and it blatantly says in the Choctaw, as well as the Chickasaw, and I believe Cherokee as well, blatantly there shall be no distinguishing between an Indian and a Negro. Okay. Now, why would our people during this period say that? Let me go to pull up this text again, pull up this document for you again. Here we go. The Fighting Indians in colonial Virginia and the Carolinas, coming up right now. So we see here, although Albert Pike, he was pro-slavery, he was pro-KKK and pro-Freemasons, of course, right? We see here within this document, and this is all from court records, right? From various periods, 1600s going to the 1800s, right? Our American people had to go to court because they was being classified as a Negro. Once you're classified as a mulatto, Negro, whatever, musty, those terms, those classifications by default associated you to being a slave by default. So therefore, you had to communicate that, yo, I'm an Indian. Therefore, I cannot be held as a slave. Meanwhile, Albert Pike being an attorney, he should be fully aware of this, right? And yet still, he hated Negroes. He was pro-Negro slavery, right? Once again, conflict of interest. This is a problem. But if you have not been informed of this, how can you effectively, how can you correctly identify the problem for what it is? Okay, let's continue. Also, I want to shout out Empress Roro. She shared a document, series of documents. These are pretty much news reports pertaining to what's going on in Arkansas, right? Let me go to pull it up right now because, as we see here, Albert Pike was in the Arkansas territory. Okay? He was in the Arkansas territory. Now, what's the current events for Arkansas, right? Exxon, oh, man, hold on. They want to charge. Hold on. Stop playing with me. Got it. I ain't paying y'all nothing. Okay, look. There's lithium in them there Arkansas hills. That's what it says. Tiny town of Magnolia that sits on multi-billion-dollar gold mine of precious metals is set to become epicenter of EV and mobile battery boom. This is dated July 2023. This is a problem. So here it is. They're about to mine, excavate, and take our wealth. How many of y'all got ancestors from Arkansas? How many of y'all of those Arkansas, Kansas Indians and all of that? All right? This is Wakanda right here. I showed y'all in previous text. You got the Ponkas out of the Kansas region, right? Arkansas, Kansas territory, all of that, right? Anyway, this is what's going on here. Multi-billion-dollar gold mine of precious metals is set to become epicenter of EV and mobile battery boom. Are you getting any royalties? Or just these Pelskins and all breeds of foreigners that's going to be extracting our minerals and profiting and meanwhile contributing to the decline of our natural environment? One, because any time these companies move in somewhere, right, they destroy the natural environment. I want to drop this link in the chat as well. Also, once again, Empress Roro, thank you for sharing this. And this is how we react to these problems, okay? We have to engage in proper information sharing, and we have to know how to file claims against these foreign corporations for what they are planning on doing here. There's plenty of information out here, all right? Plenty of information out here for us to support an effective claim against these corporations that have a background in ecocide. That's the destruction of the natural environment, okay? To support what? It says right here, let me go down here. The irony is that the U.S.'s move from fossil fuels to lithium-powered electric batteries is not entirely environmentally friendly. To extract 1 ton of lithium requires about 500,000 liters of water and can result in the poisoning of reservoirs and related health problems. Yes, Empress Roro, appreciate you. Are you seeing this? It requires 500, so to extract 1 ton of lithium requires about 500,000 liters of water. We need our water. That's going to create a desert. That's going to create a desert. They're going to make this Egypt for real. All these people that want to call this Egypt, this is how you make an Egypt. Egypt is a whole desert right now. They have invested in destroying our natural environment so they can sell some goddamn electric batteries out this motherfucker. And what? We're supposed to ignore this? This is something to talk about, right? This is an aspect of scorched earth policy, as I've communicated previously. All right. And mind you, we're talking about Arkansas again, right? And this is where this guy is from. Well, pardon me, he's not from Arkansas. However, this is where he was active in as a 33rd degree Mason, as a founder of the KKK, and as a lawyer representing American Indian nations and all of that, right? During the treaty signing periods of the 1860s. See, we need to be dealing with correct information. That's what's missing. We need to deal with correct information. We need to be up to date with what these foreign corporations and these foreign individuals and organizations, etc. We have to be up to date with what they're doing within our American territories. These are not their countries of origin to come here to extract our mineral resources. They're in the ground for a reason. It supports the natural environment. But, for the name of the quote-unquote dollar, they're going to go over there and destroy the natural land. That's circus shit. And we cannot be complicit. We cannot be silent. Like they say, acquiescence. That's silence. It's a silent agreement. By people being silent on these issues, guess what? You're agreeing to what they're doing. Is this how it's supposed to go for real? Are we supposed to be silent on what they're doing? Yo, we need our people in Arkansas aware. Just like yo, what was it this past week? Millions of people became aware of what appeared to be a staged event at a goddamn dock in Alabama somewhere, right? Millions of people became aware of that, but are millions of people aware of this? The situation going on in Arkansas right now, where they're about to destroy this natural environment, right next to Louisiana. You see? Near Louisiana. Man, they can't even spell Methodist correctly on a church. Ain't that crazy? First United Methodist. Supposed to be Methodist. Right? This is Magnolia, Arkansas. They talking about lithium is going to be huge in Magnolia. They talking about creating jobs and all of that. Yo, there should be job creation for preserving and securing our natural environment. All right? What do you say, E-Rock? When we didn't know what was happening, we were silent. That's correct. Yeah. Look at this. They list the names of the company. 6,100 lithium-rich acres in Arkansas with Tetra Technologies. They tell you who's involved. Tetra Technologies. Yo, we need people focused out here. We need people focused. There need to be claims filed against ExxonMobil, Tetra Technologies, etc. Look at this guy here. Look at him. Who the fuck is he? He's with Magnolia. He's the mayor. This guy's the goddamn mayor, a whole foreigner. A whole foreigner. What's his background? And this is the guy co-signing this coming destruction of American land? Know who your ops is. That's problem reaction solution. Know who your ops is. This dude is a whole operative. He's working in support of these foreign corporations that are invested in destroying our land. Once again, what will our youth be having to deal with in the next 5, 10, 20, 100, 1,000 years? What will North America look like? Because on this current path that we're on here, being led by these foreigners, they're going to destroy this land of ours. And for the fact we have so many people that don't even want to acknowledge this land for what it is, right? So now this is ChoctawNation.com, right? And so they have an article here on Albert Pike. Okay. I want to put this link in the chat as well. Oh my goodness, this is incredible, right? It says Peter P. Pitchland served as a representative in Washington, D.C. and principal chief of the Choctaw Nation during the 1860 through 1870 decade. A significant portion of his personal and official correspondence available for viewing at the Helmerich Center for American Research. Yo, why does this dude look like Albert Pike, though? Hold on. That's crazy. This dude looks just like Albert Pike. So did Albert Pike have multiple names too? Multiple identities? What, he had a CPN back then? Really? I mean, we have to know what's going on with these foreigners, what they've done against our people, so that we can continue to work against them as they're working against us to this day right now. Let me see it. Where the information that say Pike ordered that on it? Hold on. This is incredible. Pike. Yep. Confederate leaders who negotiated a Choctaw alliance included Albert Pike, an Arkansas lawyer who had worked with Pitchland in securing the money from the net proceeds case. So hold on. It's saying Albert Pike worked with Pitchlynn. So this is supposed to be Pitchlynn, but meanwhile, he looks like Albert Pike, though. This dude looked just like Albert Pike, man. See, we need people conducting this type of research, not encouraging confusion out here. All right? Yesterday was, I got completely sidetracked yesterday. These people, these characters here, they have no problem importing their foreign circus clown monkey shit to our territories and then imposing their beliefs onto our innocent people. Once again, silence is acquiescence. That's a silent agreement. We got to stop being silent. We have to know how to file legal documents. We cannot be dependent on a foreign attorney. And once again, an attorney, they serve the interests of the state, the corporation, not their clients. That's in Corpus Juris Secundum 7. All right? We have to really know what's going on out here. I'm going to share this link too. So this is another link. Empress Roro, really appreciate you for sharing this. Because these are active problems. These are active threats against our American people. Who's ready to meet these threats head on? Who's willing to raise money to file these claims, to organize the people within these territories, to let them know, to communicate to them what's going on against them? Our existence, the foreigners have already determined that our existence is to be removed. Extermination, extinction, annihilation. It's already been happening with the ethnocide, converting an Indian into a Negro, right? Fast forward, now you're just a quote unquote black person. You're a black man, a black woman. And then now they're saying person of color, right? And meanwhile, they inviting all breeds of foreigners to fit that criteria of a person of color. Meanwhile, your nationality and all of that, you don't know nothing about it. You don't even know that you're American, things of this nature. These are problems. And so let's continue. Let's get to these solutions real quick, right? Let me show you something. So I've shared this information and people have sent me back, pictures of their results where they have no records. The United States has no records. We're talking about Homeland Security, etc. They have no records of so many of our American people being U.S. citizens. So what does that mean, right? Because this is a solution right here, right? This is a whole solution. Let's go to run it down, right? So this here is 8 USC 1401. Shouts to Battlefield Bernie. She introduced this to me some years ago, right? Now sharing it to you. Okay. Let's get into it. It says, nationals and citizens of the United States at birth, right? So it says, the following shall be national citizens of the United States at birth. A person born in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof. And subject to the jurisdiction thereof, okay? So it's saying here, nationals and citizens of the United States at birth, right? Okay. So this is old law right here, too, by the way, but we're gonna break this down a little bit. It says B, a person born in the United States to a member of an Indian, okay? Eskimo, Aleutian, or other Aboriginal tribe. A member of an Indian, comma, Eskimo, comma, Aleutian, or other Aboriginal tribes, provided that the granting of citizenship under this subsection shall not in any manner impair or otherwise affect the right of such person to tribal or other property. Yo, when we have people debating, are you an Indian, are you an Aboriginal, blah, blah, blah. I mean, they're taking you away from simple things like this, which contributes to things like this where, you're able to show that, hold on, I got different rights. I'm in a different jurisdiction. I'm a different classification by default. My nationality is different. This is why genealogy is so important. This is why we can allow, anyone to speak to us in the form of misinformation, disinformation, playing with, with the psychology, the mind and the spirit of our people. We can't allow that. It cannot be tolerated. All right. So continue when it says here, national of the United States. The term national of the United States means a citizen of the United States. And so this is what's happening here. There's a difference between our American people. All right. Yo, these definitions here, it says it clear. Granting of citizenship under this subsection shall not in any manner impair or otherwise affect the right of such person to tribal or other property or other property. What is other property? Yo, our people are property, okay? We have our own nations. We have treaties associated to our own nations, okay? And when we have these elements in law that are being withheld from us, we have all these people talking about everything else. But what about things that pertain specifically to us, to our well-being, to our own security, our own protections, and the reinforcement thereof for our posterity, the legacy of our nations to continue to exist and have a healthy existence versus what? A sabotaged, destroyed existence? I mean, it's terrible what's happening. We see it. We all see what's going on. And we have foreigners running over here because what? Our people haven't been properly informed. Therefore, our people are unable to effectively communicate that, no, this is not going to be allowed within our territories in regards to our rights and our property that's being abused. We have claims that no one else has. And when we have people telling people that, oh, America's Egypt, that takes you away from your claim, right? Let me show you something. I got some old maps up here. All right. Let me show you something. It's an old 1755 map right here. Okay. Let's zoom in on this map. Show you something. You zoom in on these old maps, right? You will see our territories. You'll see the names of our people, all right? You'll see the original names of the land, okay? You'll see how the foreigners were also placing their names. Like, for example, we see Alexandria here. So this is the Virginia territory, right? You got Alexandria there, and then you got Bristol there, okay? Now, the foreigners, just like how you have over there Oxford, foreigners have been putting their names on our land, and meanwhile, we have our own names here. Once again, right? Let's see right here. We got Rappahannock, right? Those are Indians, okay? You got a bay right here. I can't really see the spelling of that. The Chesapeake Indians, okay? So on and so forth, right? I mean, these maps have a wealth of information. The Potomac River, there's Potomac Indians, okay? And once again, these foreigners have come over here and they have put their names over ours. This is another example of ethnocide. This must be addressed. This must be corrected. In order for that to happen, it requires investment. We have to invest in our American peoples throughout our territories. You see Piscataway up here, right? The Pennacook, okay? We go over here to the west, right? Look, you got the Senecas over here, okay? The Shenango, all right? These are real names of our American peoples embedded in these maps, embedded in these territories, our territories, all right? And we have to claim our territory. What is ours? We have to claim it. This is so important for us, and we cannot be distracted. We cannot be distracted with frivolous subject matter, things in which are irrelevant to us, especially when foreigners are actively invested in destroying all of this. Our youth don't know our names anymore, thanks to these foreigners of whatever complexion. Now we got new foreigners of whatever complexion, and do you think they have a regard for this? They're talking about, oh, I just want to come work and get a better life. At whose expense? At whose expense do they get a better life? At the compromise of our better life? At the expense of our better life, they're shipping these foreigners over here so that they can get a better life? That's bullshit. And we can't be silent. It's very unfortunate that we have people wasting attention on things that have no value, no true substance. All right. Wow, we're under active attack, dealing with active threats that are multiplying. All right. Once again, these maps show you what was really going on here, what is still present here. This is all still present. All we have to do is claim what is ours. That's all we have to do is claim what's ours, know what's ours, therefore claim what's ours. You see, Chickasaws right here, okay? Got the Creeks right there, got the Choctaws right there, all right? The Alabamos and all of that, okay? These old maps, they tell a story. That's a true story. And definitely, the importance of having context at all times, having clarity at all times. That is a whole priority. Knowing what's yours versus what is theirs and what they're trying to take from you. The Mobilians. These are original names here. These are our names. These are our relations. Okay? Has nothing to do with those foreigners. Nothing to do with them. Certainly, yeah, we traded with whoever, but what happens when trading turns into treason? Okay. Now here we have another map, right? Treaty of Utrecht right here they talking about. Okay. A lot of historical value in all of this. Once again, you get to see the original names of our people because our names come from our land. All right. That's our natural relationship. Okay. That's Canada we're looking at right there. Now we're going into the Hampshires and all of that, right? Got Pennsylvania right there. You can zoom in and you can see the names of these Pennsylvania Indians. All right. Look at that. You got a Wyoming right there. Okay. The Nomax over there, right? So on and so forth. This is what we have to focus on. The Alleghenies, the Miamis, you got the Michigamias, all right? They don't want to tell us the names of our people. The Chictachics. It says the Chictachics. Those are Indians right here. These are our people. So as I mentioned to y'all, and I showed on the Dual Wild Indian channel a few years ago when I was in Illinois. Yeah, Tay Bay, appreciate your presence, right? So here it is over there in the Chicago region, Illinois, right? Like it says right there. Chicago, those is Indians, okay? Now, these foreigners want to come to this Illinois territory, right? And there's an ancient city there, right? Called Kaskaskia. It sits on the side of the Mississippi. See, look. Cahokias and Tamaroas, all right? And they had a fort over here, right? And so this connected to the Missouri River, as we see right there. We see the Michigamis right here, right? And you got the Kaskaskias. Well, that's an ancient city in itself, right? And you see it's aligned along the Mississippi River, right? With all these other Indians, right? The Cahokias, etc., Michigamis, etc., right? Anyway, the foreigners, they came in and they want to call that little goddamn Egypt. Which is true and which is false? Kaskaskia is true. Little Egypt is goddamn false. Period. And once again, we can't be silent while foreigners are making claims to what is ours while removing us, removing memory from our people. We're supposed to remember ourselves. We're not supposed to remember no goddamn Circus Town monkey shit. Hell no. Look at that. This is a whole river right here. Yo, our ancestors traveled all of this land, utilized all of these rivers. Everything was healthy. Everything was healthy. Look at that. You see, continuing, Michigamia all the way down here with the Chickasaws right here. You see Arkansas, Arkansas, right? You got the Coppers right here. It says the Arkansas River, all right? So these are relationships. These are ancient relationships here. And what? People want to omit this from you? Why would you want to do such a thing? The Chacohumas. You see that? These are real people. These are our real people. And look. It says on this map here, the Yazus, etc., Korois destroyed. This is the foreigners' agenda, to destroy our people, destroy our land, so on and so forth. And we have to be focused on this. It says, continuing here, look, beneath that, the Natchez destroyed. Really? Destroyed? So we got to take a moment to study. How were these people so-called destroyed? How were they destroyed? Especially when we're being destroyed right now, in real time, 2023, and in recent decades, so on and so forth. Rat poison destruction. Goddamn crack, heroin, sponsored by the CIA destruction, right? The destruction of our people's minds to the point where it's, yo, our youth don't know this anymore. It's incredible. But then we look over here, okay? Because this map is a bit clearer, right? Got the Tuscaloosa on this map, right? And this is all dealing with Mississippi territory here. Going into Tennessee right there, right? See these old names. They put Napoleon here. They put Avera in there, Columbia, El Dorado, Washington, etc., right? Hey, but what's true versus what's false? We have to know what's true so that we can communicate truth in regards to these foreigners' lives. We cannot accept these names. We have to properly identify our land and our people. This is what they don't want us to know, how to properly identify our land and our people, which is distinct from them and theirs. These names pertain to their corporate foreign interest, not our American. You understand? Now look at this, okay? So this here is an old 1500s map of Egypt, okay? So when we have people talking about America's Egypt, and how? I don't care that they got a river over there called the goddamn Nile. My people ain't from this shit. I will never go to this shit. I have no reason to go to this shit. This is shit to me. I don't have no value over there. I don't want to invest in anything going over there. I mean, let's look at some facts real quick, right? So let me show you. The GDP, goddamn Egypt in comparison to the quote unquote United States, right, is bullshit in comparison. So why am I going to waste time on something that has no value by literal economic definition? They don't even have exported goods for real. They import more than they export. Tremendous fractions of value. Tremendous. And still these foreigners want to promote a goddamn Egypt towards our American people? People know more about goddamn Egypt than they do their own people. That's a problem. And so for me, this is the solution to the problem. I'm just going to shit on this goddamn Egypt shit. I'm just going to shit on it. I don't care about no fucking Egypt. We got work to do right here, right now. Supporting our people. Them people don't give no fuck about our American people. And it's these Masons. All right, you get into that Morals and Dogma book, right? By this Albert Pike character here, right? You're going to see all the Masonic shit, all the Egyptology bullshit, all the circus shit they was involved in. Same thing with the Prince of African Lodge. Whole bunch of Ethiopian fetishes and shit out this motherfucker. They got fetishes for this foreign shit that has nothing to do with us. Meanwhile, they're extracting our resources, destroying our land to support their own foreign selfish interest. Okay? Once again, it's fundamental things that our American people need to be aware of. That's just a fact. We didn't know that this guy is one of the founders of the Ku Klux Klan, that he was a soldier, an attorney, and he had a conflict of interest. But once again, by our people not being aware during this period, well, they got set up for failure, didn't they? Just like how we're being set up for failure right now. It is imperative that we take time to study what pertains to us versus what pertains to them. What pertains to them, that's theirs. Yo, once again, how I stand with this shit, when the fuck are you leaving? When the fuck are you getting out of here? And take nothing with you, because this is not yours to take. Nothing from this American continent belongs to any of these damn foreigners. Nothing here belongs to them. This air, this water, this soil, and everything that comes from it. Our American people's intellectual property, so on and so forth, the mineral rights, etc. Yo, foreigners should not be benefiting from what's ours. Yo, we see the situation where across the country we got fucking tent cities being built, new ones being built specifically for these new foreigners, for the new invaders. Tent cities, all types of criminal conduct going to be taking place, right? Once again, y'all, problem, reaction, solution, right? I'm showing y'all a lot of problems. At the same time, I'm showing you primary solutions, right? This is one solution here, once again. Having recorded evidence from the feds that you are not a U.S. citizen. That in conjunction with your genealogy, right? Your genealogy, so important. So important. You know, identify your people on these Indian rolls as it pertains to our American nations, all right? Your inheritance. Because as long as people was claiming to be African and Egyptian and all that shit, you ain't got no inheritance over here. You ain't got shit over here. Nah, this is what we have for ourselves. Understand? Now, once we have these fundamental elements pertaining to our natural identity and all of that, right? Now we can embrace the furtherance of our awareness of law, beginning with our treaties, holding the United States, because we don't have treaties with the individual states. The states are under the feds, okay? But we learn that we have a role in government, right? We have a role in the regulation of commerce. This is commercial right here, what's going on over there. But it's disrupting everything natural, okay? This natural environment will be devastated if our American people don't do what's necessary to prevent this from happening. These are all solutions. Identifying the problem. How are we going to react to the problem? We got to do research. Got to conduct proper research, right? We got to engage in proper information sharing. All right, we got to make sure that our people that are representing their people within these territories, right, they have the proper information to address these threats head on. Because this is a head-on threat right here. A lithium boom with global ramifications, right? And once again, this is just one of numerous issues. And this is what I'm saying. Our people got to be focused out here. This is not the time for circus clown monkey shit. It's never the time for circus clown monkey shit, in my opinion. But, you know, to each his own, of course. I'm just saying, if people want solutions, you have to make the time to study the true problems. Identify how you will react to those problems, all right? Research is a part of this process, in my opinion, Research involves doing reconnaissance, scouting, data collection, identifying your people that have particular skill sets. We need people researching the trail of the money associated to the names, dates, and locations, who's invested in all of this shit, right? We need to invest in our people that can get busy with filing and preparing legal documents. I'm gonna show you another solution, right? Let me show you one. Let me show you. Hold on, where that's at? Where is that link at? Hold up. What the hell? Here it is. Yeah. So Thomson Reuters, they have a legal software. I've been studying this for like a few years now, right? About a year and some change now, I've been studying this software here, right? Now, this software, it's designed literally for everything legal. Legal, tax, accounting, trade and supply, risk and fraud, news and media, so on and so forth, right? This software here, literally, they got AI-powered goddamn software that you can utilize to prepare your claims for you. All you got to do is just fill in the blanks, damn near. You tell the software what you need to do, and them motherfucker going to generate the shit. This requires an investment. Yo, every day we got people's rights being violated. The natural environment's rights is being violated. The rights of the birds, the bees, the flowers, and the trees, right? Does everything natural not have rights? Does a bird not have a right to have a tree and all of the trees in which the birds enjoy? Right? These are our resources. This is our natural environment here for our natural people. And what? He's going to let foreigners run amok and have their way? You see what I'm saying? That's incredible. We can't do it. So once again, y'all, problem, reaction, solution. This is in addition to setting up security forces, right? We have that right to set up security forces the same way our ancestors did, right? Fast forward, yeah, it's new names involved now. Private security, private security firms, law enforcement, police stations, etc. We can create these things ourselves. It's nothing but a corporation. I know how to create businesses. I know how to set up corporations. Thing is, though, we need qualified people. We need people that are our people, that are willing to participate in these levels of investment of the mind, the spirit, and energy, the physical body, so on and so forth, being able to effectively compensate people, all right? To make sure that our heirs, themselves included, that participate, that they're secure in these activities without any foreign influence. We don't need foreigners to influence what we need to do for ourselves. We don't need that. So yeah. I'm going to conclude with this part right here. One moment here. Let me go back to this real quick. Yeah. So check it out. This is in reference to Memphis, okay? It's real simple. Where did whatever state, city, whatever this name? A simple, all right? How did this years ago? Okay. Show you real quick. It says, where did Memphis get its name? Compared to Nashville and Knoxville, why does Memphis sound oddly Egyptian? Well, because it is. And who's responsible for this strangeness, this oddness, right? Memphis was founded in 1819 by three men, a Nashville judge named John Overton, a former general named James Winchester, future president goddamn Andrew Jackson. That corrupt motherfucker there. Ain't that some shit? Andrew goddamn Jackson. The trio named the city after the capital of ancient Egypt. Though their exact line of reasoning is uncertain, why? Because it's Masonic, right? It's possible that they thought that nearby Mississippi evoked the mighty Nile and envisioned America's Memphis as a hub for culture, transit, and trade. Or perhaps they had lunch with the founders of Cairo, Illinois. That's Little Egypt we were talking about earlier, right? Thebes, Kentucky, and Carthage, Michigan. Yeah, of course. All of those Masons that had this public official capacity in whatever regard, right? Yes. They all conspired to change the names of our American territories. I'm concluding with that right there. And once again, plenty of information out there about it. So that's what I'm saying. We gotta kill the confusion. You know what I'm saying? It's very frivolous when we have people telling people that America's Egypt when obviously it's not. It is obviously not. And all it takes is just a quick Google search or simple common sense, such as, let me pull up an old map. Let me pull up an old map to see what's really going on. That's right. Michael Ackermack, appreciate your presence. Circus shit. Exactly. Look at this map here. Look at this map here. Tamaroa, Kaskaskias, the Missouris. Missouris are Indian. The Osagis, the Moki, the Zuni. All right? Spending time with real information versus the foreign fabricated circus clown monkey shit. All right? This is what I show people within the genealogy class, right? This is a 1750 map there, right? 1750. Got a 1743, right? A 1703. This is a study of cartography here. Yo, we need qualified people communicating. Not random strangers that don't know what they're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Yo, we had that foreigner. Once again, yesterday, we had the foreigner up in the chat. He talking about, I'm one minute, he's a pale skin. Next minute, he's a Yuchi. Next minute, he's a fucking whole goddamn Egyptologist claiming that America's goddamn Egypt. Bullshit. Bullshit. So these so-called historians, these online scholars and shit, they don't know the study of cartography. They don't know the study of language, philology. They don't know the study of ethnography, anthropology, archaeology, etc., as it pertains to this region of the world that is distinct from all other regions of the world. They call this the new world because it's new to them, but it's old to us. What they're doing over there, that they're doing a lot of new shit over there that we don't do over here. I was speaking to someone yesterday about how over there in Asia, China in particular, they routinely crash. They routinely run over their people. They routinely crash into cars and all types of crazy shit. We don't need that shit happening here. Yo, the Chinese, they routinely kidnap their own Chinese people and chop them up and sell their organs. We don't need that shit going on over here. But it's happening here since all these foreigners done invaded. Brandon Rogers, appreciate your presence. So yeah, this is how you kill confusion, by dealing with clarity. We got to clear all of this up for ourselves. And this is for the benefit of our youth. Our youth need to know better out here. Who are the Algonkins? Are you an Algonkin? See what I'm saying? This is real world research right here for us to get into, to see our lands, what pertains to our American people, not none of that foreign circus shit. Yo, we should not give no fuck about anything that's going on with foreigners. Nah, These foreigners coming over here to do everything to engage in all forms of wickedness against us, as we've seen with this Albert Pike character here. All forms of wickedness. He supported slavery, including the slavery of Indians. He was buying slaves, holding slaves, selling slaves, and doing whatever else with these slaves. He even had slaves employed as soldiers. All right? And soldiers against who? You represent Indians in court, but at the same time, you're terrorizing Indians at night. Daytime, you're an attorney for the Indians. At nighttime, you put on your white sheets and all of that as the founder of the KKK with all this foreign Masonic Egyptology knowledge and shit, right? You engage in all forms of trickery, circus clown monkey shit against our American people, and nobody wants to know this shit, right? Nah, I'm the complete opposite. I want you all to know. I need our American people, especially our American youth, aware of what has happened because it's still happening. People want to say history repeats itself. No. History doesn't repeat itself. How can it repeat when it's ongoing? When something is ongoing, right? Like turn on the TV, use like the TV, just keep running and running and keep going and going and going, right? Turn on the radio, and you just let it keep going and going and going. And then nothing but a whole bunch of circus clown monkey shit on TV, and nothing but a whole bunch of circus clown monkey shit on the goddamn radio, right? And just keep going and going and going. Meanwhile, time is progressing forward. You got people want to say time is an illusion. How? It takes 9 months approximately for a baby to develop within a natural woman, right? But how long does it take to develop a goddamn test tube baby, though? Huh? There's time. Those are not illusions here. Doesn't happen instantaneously. History's not repeating itself. No, we're dealing with a continuation. When you take the time to study the charters for these quote-unquote states, these corporations, these states or companies, right? When you look at the charters, you shall see they're referencing their heirs and successors, their board of governors and board of trustees, etc. Very specific names, the Oglethorpes and whoever else, right? They are defining the future of their activities within these old documents. They don't want our people to read. They want you to listen to somebody. Nah, I'm encouraging y'all to read. Read what an American national is. Read what a national is. And then also read the fact that there are no records of our people being a goddamn U.S. citizen. Read. Know what this means to you and yours in your reality in real time. Yo, once again, identify your people within these Indian roles. All right? I got 30 of them. It's over 30, matter of fact. Hold on, how many is it right here? It's like 35, I believe it said. Hold up. Thing moving a little slow. Yeah, 35. 35 Indian roles. Oh, we got countless names on here. When you have this information and you know who your people is, right? Yo, you know where your people are from. You know what I'm saying? And you're able to honor your people, to invest in the future of your people, right? You're able to effectively communicate to your daughters and sons like, hey, nah, them is lies over there. Hold on. They lying to you in school? Okay, this is what we're going to do. We about to file a claim. We about to file a lawsuit against, about to file a tort claim, a federal tort claim. That's what we're going to do. We're going to file a federal tort claim against these so-called educators for investing in ethnocide. My daughter and son went to school and they was told that they killed all the Indians. Nah, motherfucker, we right here, right now, in real time. Yeah, they don't cause harm. Yeah, they don't kill a lot of us. True indeed. This rat poison shit. This shit's taking out too many of our people. Planned Parenthood even, shit. The list goes on. Yo, once again, these are solutions right here. Problem, reaction, solution. I'm concluding. I got to return a call. One of the good people. I appreciate y'all. Y'all stay healthy. Y'all stay strong. You know what I mean? And once again, yo, y'all stay focused, man. Appreciate y'all. I'm going to get with y'all again very soon. We're going to keep this thing moving. Anthony Lowe, definitely appreciate you. Y'all have a great day. Stay healthy.